Hey there guys, welcome back to another You've Never Used This Team Before video. Today, we're continuing to move through secondary games and remakes, and taking a trip to the lovely Johto with HeartGold and SoulSilver. You guys are of course very familiar with this series, so I won't explain too much here. But I will say that you're going to enjoy this one, because it's pretty different from any other team I've made in this series before. It definitely has never been used, but there's a good reason why. I'll quickly point out as well that I'm just worrying about getting you through Johto here, not through Kanto. So moves and whatnot are held back to just what you can get prior to becoming champion for the first time. Hey y'all, if you want to support me further, I have other channels as well. Mystic Umbreon Shorts, where we do other exclusive Pokemon content there. Mystic Reads, where I read stories and anime fanfics, including Pokemon. And Arion, my new streaming channel where I play a variety of games. You can find links for all three of these channels in the description below and the iCard above. We're gonna kick off the team without a starter once again. This time, replaced with a Pokemon I like very much, Butterfree. You'll capture a Caterpie on Route 31 in HeartGold. And if you won't trade for it, if you're playing SoulSilver, you'll have to capture it in the National Park, which is way later. So that makes it easy to assume Butterfree ends up on less teams than you'd expect, quite frankly. Caterpie evolves into Metapod at level 7 and into Butterfree at level 10, so it's a quick and extremely easy evolution to go through. Sorry to the Beedrill fans out there. I just love this butterfly too much not to go with it instead. The moves on my main man Butterfree are Sleep Powder, Poison Powder, Silver Wind, and Gust. This really maxes out for the most part how strong your Butterfree can actually get pre-Kanto, with the Powder moves both being learned at level 12, Silver Wind at 28, and Gust at 16. It'll be a huge struggle for Butterfree to really do much, but if you feel more confident in Psybeam over Gust, that will probably up its usability. This is definitely proof though that HeartGold and SoulSilver kinda makes Pokemon even worse with the way they offer moves. Alright, next up, we've got another bug. Oh yeah, this is no worse team, but it definitely might end up feeling like that by the time we get to the end. So we've got Venomoth now to satiate you Beedrill fans who wanted to see this typing represented. Venonat is found in the National Park and will evolve into Venomoth at level 31. Venomoth actually isn't too bad with its special attack and speed, but it doesn't have access to an amazing move like Quiver Dance, for example. It's yet another bad bug type for these games, thus pushing the real envelope of just what goes unused. Let's go to the moves. Venomoth is working with Psybeam, Signal Beam, Sludge Bomb, and Gust. It's a very similar moveset to Butterfree, but they're relatively identical Pokemon, so it's not too surprising. Psybeam will be learned at level 25, with Signal Beam coming in at level 37. That might be the best bug move Venomoth gets, quite frankly. Then Sludge Bomb you can get on the route up to Lake of Rage as a TM, and then Gust learned at level 31. Because, really, what else are you gonna do? Okay, so we've got another bug type. Are we going monotype today? Stay tuned. If we are though, at least we've got a good Pokemon now with Scizor. You need to get yourself a Scyther in the National Park during a nice little bug catching contest, for example. And that's not easy. It's got a low encounter rate, but when you get it, you then need the metal coat to help you evolve it in the Scizor. The best way to get one is to hunt Wild Magnemite, as they have a chance of holding that item. Once you get it, you have to trade Scyther while holding it, and then you have the Pokemon you're looking for. So we finally got a real good Pokemon on this team, so we gotta give it a good moveset. Bullet Punch, X-Scissor, Wing Attack, and Rock Smash. Unfortunately, this isn't a generation where Scizor learns Bullet Punch upon evolution, so you have to heart scale it back on in Blackthorn, which is just so annoyingly late. I guess use Metal Claw until then if you can get it, and if not, it'll just be a long wait for that stab. Then with X-Scissor, that is just learned at level 41, and you can use U-Turn if you'd like while you wait. The next move is Wing Attack, which Scyther will have at level 21. And then finally, Rock Smash is an HM you'll get on Route 36. Unfortunately, Brick Break just wasn't an option for me to suggest, so we're going with this. How do you follow up Scizor? Well, you follow it up with Pincer. Those two Pokemon have been tied to each other for a long time, and Heracross joined their relationship in the second generation as well. However, I'll break the news to you now. It was between Heracross and Pincer here, and I decided on the latter clearly. So Pincer is acquired through the same exact way you end up with Scyther on your team. Go to the National Park and struggle to find it. And then when you do, just slap it on your squad. there isn't much else to say in that case other than, hey, Pincer's pretty strong. And at least among bug types, it's one of the better options. Brick Break, X-Scissor, Strength, and Earthquake. Those are the 4 moves for Pincer, and that also may just be the most strong-looking moveset today. So Pincer actually can get Brick Break unlike Scizor by level up, so at level 21, you got it. X-Scissor will come at level 30. With Strength, learned via an HM, you'll get on Route 42. And finally, Earthquake is a TM you'll get in Victory Road. This is a damn fine moveset, very straightforward and very powerful, keeping our line of bugs really roaring. So I started with 2 bad bug types, followed with much better ones, and thus now need to bring it on down with one more bad one, Parasect. It's a staple of worst teams, often featured on top 10 worst lists, and honestly isn't even as scary of a Pokemon as its pre-evo. I'm looking at you, Legends Arceus. Paras is found in Elix Forest and evolves at level 24. It's absolute garbo, as I just said, but of course nobody is using it unless they're proving a point. And quite frankly, if you were doing a monotype team for these games, why would you ever put Parasect on it? I put it on this team over Heracross, for goodness sake. Let's move on to the moves now. Let's get going here with Spore, Giga Drain, Cross Poison, and Slash. So Spore is a big must on any Parasect, as despite being an awful Pokemon, that's a great move. It's learned at level 22. Then we've got Giga Drain learned at level 44, which of course will take a while to get to. Then with Cross Poison, you've got a Heart skill that back on with a Mover Learner in Blackthorn. Finally, we're gonna close it out with Slash, learned at level 22. And hey, who doesn't want to move with some big crit ratio energy? So we'll close out the team with Gyarados. I'll bet I really lulled you guys into a false sense of security there, huh? You thought you knew what was gonna happen, but like a smart man once said, just when you thought you had all the answers, I changed the questions. This is almost a monotype team, but it switches over to the powerful water type Gyarados. That was my ace in the hole here to really guarantee this team was never used. Who would go this far building a monotype team just to ruin it in one space? A lunatic, that's who. Today, you can call me that lunatic, because I know nobody has ever done something like this. Magikarp is basically available anywhere you can use your Old Rod, and will evolve into the intimidating Gyarados before you know it at level 20. It's just a funny thought that you'll have to rely on a bunch of bugs to get your Magikarp the experience it needs. So this last set for our subversive Pokemon is gonna have Surf, Blizzard, Fire Blast, and Thunder. When don't I enjoy making these wild coverage sets, honestly? Surf is given to you for beating all the Kimono girls in some battles, and then the other 3 moves can all be bought in the Goldenrod department store. I'm just huge on some big time power always being powerful. Who doesn't love having all the power? Who doesn't love having Intimidate? Gyarados is just the big dog, or rather fish, among a bunch of puny little bugs today. Also, why am I running a special Gyarados? Well, it just further drives the point home that you haven't used this team. So that's it. A team of a bunch of bugs and a big old fish. Nobody has ever thought to even dare use these in Johto, let alone anywhere else. I'm honestly shocked I thought to do it. But don't worry, I promise you that next time when we tackle Oras, there will be a bit more variety while still being on a team you've definitely never used. With that, I'll see you guys then. We're finally here in 2023, and I'm super excited for what this year has to offer us. There's potential DLC for Scarlet and Violet on the horizon, and who knows just what else Game Freak may have up their sleeves. It's gonna be really exciting times coming up for a Pokemon fan. If you're interested in more Mystic content, check out my TikTok and Mystic Umbreon Shorts YouTube channel. I've got a really fun series starting up there very soon, and of course, have a weekly edition of my Should You Use series focusing on Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet. Also, if you're into fanfictions and what ifs, check out Mystic Reads. I offer a ton of creative spoken word content on there, so come join me. Thanks again for joining me today, and I'll see you all next time.